We will be talking about the nationalist movement in Scotland to separate from England by Felipe Fernandez, Joey Bronstein, and Tommy Gilmore.
Nationalism is the belief that your country is better than others and your people are unique, and have the desire to form a new nation based on common culture, language, and ethnicity, contributed to the formation of new nations. There are several types of nationalism movements in Scotland. One is the separation, that is, culturally distinct groups resist being added to a state, tries to break away. And some examples of this happening in other places are in Greece, in France, in Canada, Catalonia, and Basques. Another of the state movements in Scotland is the state building. Culturally distinct groups form a new state by accepting a single culture, like in the USA, Yugoslavia, and Turkey.
Our example of a nationalist movement was in Scotland, when in 2014 there was a referendum to see if they would become independent from Great Britain. Even though the referendum wasn't successful, it was still had a very big impact on Great Britain.
Some of the causes or reasons of why the Scottish want to separate are that they want the Labour Party on power. Currently, the Conservative Party is in power, so they are taking more in count. And the Conservative Party don't support the separation of Scotland. Also, their autonomy is a symbol for their nationalism, and Scottish have an oil reserve along their coast, and thus them being part of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, they have to give it to the government or the money. Also, the Scottish have followed their Prime Minister Alex Salmond, who is the leader of the Yes campaign. The Yes campaign wants the separation of Scotland from. The United Kingdom uses Scotland as a place to build nuclear weapons. If they get their independence, they will stop building them and make the world with more peace in it. Many people think that the Scottish cannot build their own country, but in a new study, they found out that they have the resources and finances to build one. So, this has encouraged people to vote for yes and get their independence.
David Cameron has been the United Kingdom Prime Minister since 2010. In 2014, he played a major role in the party against Scotland getting its independence. This is Alistair Darling. He was one of the leaders of the Stay Together campaign in Scotland. He was a very influential figure and one of the main reasons Scotland remained a part of Britain. This is Dennis Kanavan. He's been a major part of Scotland's politics since 1974, when he was elected a Labour Member of Parliament. He, in 2014, was a major leader in the Yes Scotland campaign and had a huge influence in voters voting yes in Scotland. Scotland has a long, bloody history with England and its independence. But after this peaceful independence attempt in 2014, I strongly believe that Scotland will continue trying to gain their independence in a peaceful way, unlike when they tried to do it on several occasions, which ended up in a bloody, long-lasting war. Ruth Davidson. She's been also a major part of Scotland's politics since 2011, when she was elected the leader of the Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party. She, in the 2014 referendum, was a huge leader of the independence campaign, arguing that British tax laws taxated Scotland's people too harshly, and therefore they should gain their independence.
Scotland had the capacity of becoming its own country because it has economic capacity, and also the most of the people that live in Scotland want their independence because they think they can get a better economy and have more tourism if they are separated from the United Kingdom.
Even though the Scottish referendum didn't succeed this time, the Scottish people will continue trying to gain their independence from Britain so that they can have better lives.